Something really interesting happened when I booted up an emulation of 2002's Star Fox Adventures. At first, the rose-colored glasses of nostalgia caused by all those weekends I spent playing this game with my friends quickly dissipated the outdated graphic, the shallow combat mechanics, and the obvious cracks and the faults the game has. As I kept on playing, the sweet taste of reminiscence faded away, and all the harsh criticism this game received was painfully becoming more and more present. The biggest issues, of course, were the first ones to be felt. Your companion, Tricky, quickly becomes annoying, even when he's completely necessary in order to progress through the levels. The combat, as I said before, got so repetitive, it reminded me why I tried so hard as a kid to avoid the enemies in order to not get into a fight with them. Some characters are just blatantly weird, while others seem like a rushed and perhaps uninspired design. The starship levels aren't even remotely as exciting as I remembered them to be. The initial pace of the game is a bit slow, and the whole storyline feels more like a Zelda wannabe than a true original Star Fox game. And yet, I kept on playing. Yes, perhaps all the critics were right. Why didn't Nintendo give us a real Star Fox game? Why this idea to make an open world game out of a character no one has ever used that way before? Word has gotten out that wasn't even the original idea in the first place. The developers wanted a new IP to explore this dinosaur planet idea, and Nintendo kind of forced their hand and made it adapted to this already known Star Fox universe. Still, I kept on playing. The game's main concepts were slowly but confidently introduced.
At last, it all makes sense. So, the bad guy takes the spell stones, your planet falls apart, and I've got to find the spell stones and bring them back to the Force Point temples.
See, Mom? I told you he was good. Star Fox, yeah.
The spell stones, magic gems that hold the planet together, have gone missing from the Force Point temples, causing parts of the land to drift off into space. Krazoa spirits, ancestral ghosts from a long-gone civilization, must be returned to Krazoa Palace, the place where a mysterious character is being held captive. The character we met and played during the initial sequence, known as Crystal. The whole of Dinosaur Planet with its different biomes and territories becomes ours to explore. The frigid lands of Dark Ice Mines, the dangerous and captured stronghold of Cloudrunner Fortress, the obviously Mesoamerican inspired walled city, and the perilous, fire-riddled, desolate land of Dragon Rock. All these concepts, ideas, places, and elements started to weigh much more than the mishaps and setbacks mentioned before. But come on, many other games released that year had more recognizable characters, larger worlds, superior graphics, and were likely better overall. The PlayStation and Xbox boasted superior hardware, enabling the creation of true gaming masterpieces. Star Fox Adventures probably wouldn't make it on a top 10 of that year. I would probably have a really hard time defending this game versus the big titles of the other consoles. And actually I did. I did have a hard time because the cool kids weren't playing Star Fox. They were playing M-rated games which displayed much better graphics, have much more grounded and less fantastic storylines, and clearly didn't feel as childish as a game where you have to save a bunch of dinosaur tribes. Maybe the bullies in my school were right. Maybe this game is childish, and I wasn't supposed to be playing it. I should have played more mature, graphic, violent games. The GameCube, after all, is a kid's toy. And if you play it, you're a kid. You're a wimp. You're a loser. But faithfully, and perhaps a bit stubbornly, I still kept on playing. Once the main objectives were made perfectly clear and the story finally kicked into full gear, the game opened up in such a way that a complete immersion and investment in its characters, plot, and sequences was just inevitable. Tricky becomes your loyal and fiery companion. You start to forgive and eventually embrace his annoying features as we develop a trusting and dependent relationship with each other. Hell, I could even say I missed him during the Cloudrunner Fortress level, a land where he dared not to go because of the political instability between the Cloud Runners and the Earthwalkers. It's awesome, man. Instead of hesitating, or perhaps better said, avoiding the combat, you kind of look forward to it. Just because the combat is kind of shallow doesn't mean I have to be bad at it, right? You lock in, you crave those combos, you fight these sharp claws not just to beat them, but to look as cool as ever doing so. The at first seemingly antiquated graphics slowly but surely reveal the beautiful and carefully crafted art design, the distinct biomes, the stunning color schemes, and the immaculate vibes some of these places possess. The characters who were once a bit irritating become part of your adventure, where you realize how well directed and executed their voice acting is, and how all their unique designs and ideas turn this whole experience into something whimsical, magical, and there it is. That's the word I was looking for. Whimsical. Even the synonyms that came up on the web search perfectly describe it. Unusual, playful, unpredictable, eccentric. Even more so, the antonyms perfectly describe what the game is not. It's not boring. It's not common. It's not serious. It's not standard, unfunny, usual. It's a game that captures perfectly the essence of childhood. The dynamic game design feels like it was crafted to perfectly entrance an imaginative mind. The music ebbs and flows with the story, inspiring even more sense of adventure. The Zelda-like music cues when you solve a puzzle feel as triumphant as ever. The intense and epic scores that enhance boss fights make it feel like a heroic and monumental task which has been bestowed upon you. The use of dinosaurs taps into the very essence of youth. At least that's the case with me and some of my friends, where the obsession with dinosaurs, thanks to films like Jurassic Park and The Land Before Time, was blissfully satisfied in seeing all the amazingly designed species. Every type of dinosaur has its own culture, style, and environment, and the best thing is it never feels out of place, no matter how weird or unexpected it may seem at first. Like, of course, the velociraptor-like sharp claws would be evil and cunning. Of course, the pterodactyl-like cloud runners would be majestic and proud, sitting atop their perched fortress. We could even address the elephant, or should I say mammoth, in the room by pointing out how snowhorns, which are mammals and technically didn't even exist in the dinosaur era, don't feel out of place. And after all these years, I finally understood why Fox and Crystal's romantic relationship was included in the game. It's clearly meant as a mirror for the awkwardness of puberty and adolescence. Fox's shyness around Crystal reflects the experience of many young people, myself included, who lacked the confidence to talk to someone they're attracted to. You can relate to the hero you're controlling, even and especially if you aren't one of the cool kids who are comfortable in social situations. So yes, the games on PlayStation and Xbox were probably much cooler to be playing at the time. And they are good games, masterpieces. There's a reason why they are still held to this day as a cultural zeitgeist. But now I can play Star Fox Adventures without having to worry about what they will think of me. It is childish. It is a kid's game. But graphic, gory, violent, and cool games could be described with the word whimsical. They aren't unusual. They aren't unpredictable. They aren't playful. They fail to capture that imaginative nature which Star Fox excels at. It overflows with it. So yeah, maybe back then I felt a bit ashamed of saying, hey, I like this game. But now that I've replayed it, I can confidently say it's one of the most important and influential games in my childhood. It was crucial in inspiring me and shaping me into the person I am today. That's what these games do. They can heavily influence your outlook on life and its problems. Games like Star Fox Adventure require different kinds of thinking and open-mindedness. You constantly need to form mental images of creative places, imagine things in your mind, and much more mental and creative immersion than just shooting bad guys for some dopamine hits. So, this is me trying to reconcile with my former child, who hopelessly felt ashamed of saying he liked to play these games in the fear of being mocked and being called childish or immature, when honestly, in retrospect, it's probably the exact opposite. Yeah, it's a game meant for kids, but in this horrible, cruel world, why would you want to be anything else? Perhaps that's what the problem is. We need a little bit more whimsy in this world. So what do you guys think? Does Star Fox Adventures stand the test of time? Is it as amazing as it was in our childhood? Let me know in the comments. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please like and subscribe, and check out the links in the description where you can head to Steam and wishlist my new game, Tomorrowness. It's a 2D platformer about music, rain, and memory, and it was all created by myself. All of these lessons of imagination, creativity, and whimsy I learned in Star Fox Adventures, I tried to apply them into this new game. I think you'll like it. Go check it out. Otherwise, I'll see you later on the next video.